Right. So today we're doing something kind of different. We're doing a single source deep dive,
Uh-huh.
into this devotional text called "Fight for Your Faith."
Okay.
But just a heads up, it's written from like an evangelical Christian perspective.
Mm.
So we're going to be kind of exploring how this particular text approaches faith, miracles, personal transformation.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is so interesting about this text is how it uses this metaphor of a software update from God
Okay.
to explain these concepts.
Okay. A software update from God.
Yeah.
Now that's definitely not something you hear every day.
Great.
Where does that even come from?
Well, the text uses a story from the Gospel of John as a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
The one about the man who had been ill for 38 years and was waiting by the pool of Bethesda for healing.
Oh, right. I remember that when he's waiting for the angel to stir the water, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting. When
Yeah.
Jesus approaches the man and asks, "Do you want to be healed?" The man doesn't just say yes.
Right.
Instead, he starts talking about all the obstacles in his way,
Uh-huh.
how he has no one to help him get into the pool, how someone always gets there before him.
So he's basically focused on all the reasons why he can't be healed
Yes.
instead of just accepting the possibility.
Precisely. And the devotional text points out that this is often how we approach challenges in our own lives.
Okay.
We get so caught up in what we perceive as our limitations
Yeah.
that we miss out on opportunities for growth and change.
Hmm.
It's like we're running on outdated software.
Okay.
It's preventing us from seeing the full potential of what's possible.
Wow, that's such a great analogy.
Yeah.
Like when you're stuck in a rut at work
Mm-hmm.
and all you can see are the reasons why you can't get that promotion
Yeah.
or make a career change.
Right.
But what if, like Jesus in the story,
Mm-hmm.
you could just bypass all the perceived obstacles and step into a new reality?
That's a perfect example of what the text is getting at with this software update concept. It's about recognizing that sometimes we need to shift our perspective
Mm-hmm.
to move beyond our old ways of thinking and embrace a new way of operating.
And in the story, that shift in perspective comes when Jesus simply says, arise.
Yes.
Or as the text emphasizes, lève-toi in
Yeah.
the original French.
Right. And the text highlights how Jesus bypasses all the traditional methods of healing.
Cool.
The waiting, the ritual, the reliance on the angel stirring the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a direct command, a
Yeah.
powerful call to action.
You know what, that lève-toi thing really resonates with me? I was stuck in this dead-end job for years,
Yeah.
but then I had this arise moment and just quit.
Wow.
Scariest thing I ever did. But it led to some amazing things.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was like I finally updated my own internal programming.
That's exactly the kind of transformation this text is talking about.
Yeah.
It's about that moment when you decide to stop making excuses,
Right.
stop focusing on limitations, and just take action.
Mhm.
Whether it's a career change, a personal goal, or even just a small step outside your comfort zone,
Yeah.
it's about embracing the possibility of something new.
Okay, I'm totally on board with this software update idea. But the text also makes this interesting point about angels.
Yes.
It suggests that while angels are powerful beings, sometimes we need to go directly to the commander of angels,
Right.
which is Jesus.
Yes. And this raises an important question about where we place our faith
Okay.
and how we seek guidance and support.
I'm curious about this idea of going beyond angels.
Oh.
Does that mean we shouldn't pray to them at all?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get the going straight to the CEO analogy.
Yeah.
But sometimes, don't you need those middle managers to help you navigate the system?
That's a great point. The text isn't necessarily discouraging prayer to angels,
Okay.
but it is emphasizing that Jesus has ultimate authority and can provide a more direct solution.
Yeah.
It's like recognizing that while there are many sources of help and support available to us,
Yeah.
sometimes we need to go straight to the ultimate source of power and guidance to truly experience transformation.
So it's not about rejecting other forms of support,
Right.
but about recognizing that there's this hierarchy of power.
Yes,
And sometimes we need to bypass the intermediaries to get to the real source of change.
exactly. It's about understanding where true authority lies and having the faith to go directly to that source when needed.
Okay, this is making me rethink a lot of my assumptions about faith and how I approach challenges.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also starting to see how these ideas can be applied to a wider audience,
Mm-hmm.
even those who don't necessarily share the same religious beliefs.
Yeah,
It's like that old saying, God helps those who help themselves.
that's a great connection. The text is emphasizing the importance of taking ownership of our own lives
Okay.
and recognizing our own power to create change.
Wow.
And that's a message that resonates with people from all walks of life.
All right. So we've got this idea of a software update from God,
Right?
this powerful call to arise,
Mhm.
and this concept of going directly to the ultimate source of power. What else does this text have in store for us?
Well,
Does it get more specific about how this update actually works?
it does, and one of the key elements it highlights is the importance of belief.
So we're back, and last we left off, we were about to dive into the role of belief in this software update concept.
Yes.
You know, it makes me think of that idea that, like, our beliefs can either empower us or hold us back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't believe you're worthy of love,
Right.
you might subconsciously sabotage your relationships.
Yeah.
Or, like, if you're convinced you'll never be financially stable,
Right.
you might make choices that reinforce that belief.
Exactly. The text uses the story of the man at the pool to illustrate this point.
Okay.
It suggests that his initial focus on the obstacles might have actually hindered his faith.
Okay.
He was so focused on what he lacked that he didn't fully embrace the possibility of healing.
So it's not enough to just, like, intellectually understand the concept of a software update.
Right.
You have to actually believe that it's possible for you to change,
Yeah.
for things to be different.
That's right. The text emphasizes that faith is an essential component of this transformation process.
Okay.
It's about trusting in a power greater than ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's God, the universe, or even our own inner wisdom.
Okay, but what about those who don't subscribe to, like, a specific religion
Mm-hmm.
or belief system?
Yeah,
Can they still apply these ideas to their own lives?
absolutely. Even in a secular context, we talk about the power of positive thinking,
Right.
the importance of mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and the impact of our beliefs on our actions.
Right.
It's all connected.
I see what you mean. It's like when people talk about manifesting their desires or using affirmations to change their self-talk,
Mm-hmm.
those are essentially software updates for the brain, right?
Precisely, whether you call it faith belief or a positive mindset, the underlying principle is the same.
Okay.
Our thoughts and beliefs have a powerful influence on our reality.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this software update concept can be a really empowering tool for personal growth, regardless of, like, your background or beliefs. But I'm still a little fuzzy on the practicalities.
Okay.
How do you actually go about, like, installing this new program?
Well, the text offers some guidance in the form of key prayers,
Right,
which we touched on briefly in the last part.
right, but we decided not to go through all 12 of them.
Yeah.
Can you give us a few specific examples of how these prayers can be interpreted in a more secular context?
Certainly one of the prayers is for open doors.
Okay.
Which can be seen as a reminder to be proactive, to set intentions, and to be open to new opportunities.
Okay.
It's about putting yourself out there and taking action towards your goals.
That makes sense. It's not just about wishing for things to happen.
Right.
It's about actively creating those opportunities.
Another prayer is for favor,
Okay.
which can be interpreted as cultivating a positive attitude, building strong relationships,
Right.
and focusing on your strengths.
Okay.
It's about attracting good things into your life by being the kind of person that people want to support and be around.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
It's about being a magnet for good vibes and positive energy.
Exactly.
And then there's the prayer for supernatural acceleration,
Yes.
which can be seen as a reminder to trust the timing of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes things unfold in ways we don't expect, and what seems like a delay or a setback
Right.
can actually be a powerful force for good. You know, that supernatural acceleration thing really speaks to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've had so many experiences where, like, things didn't go according to plan.
Yeah.
But looking back, I can see how those detours actually led me to something better.
It's about surrendering to the bigger picture even when we don't understand it in the moment.
Yeah.
And that can be a really challenging but ultimately rewarding practice.
Okay, these key prayers are starting to make a lot more sense to me now.
Good.
It's not just about reciting words.
Right.
It's about embodying these principles in our daily lives.
Yes.
But I'm still wondering, what are some real-life examples of how this software update idea can actually play out?
Let's take the example of someone struggling with a career change.
Okay.
They might feel stuck in their current job,
Mm-hmm.
but fear is holding them back from pursuing their true passion.
Right.
They might be thinking, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I lose everything?
Ooh, that's relatable.
Yeah.
I've definitely been there.
It's that feeling of being trapped but too scared to make a move.
Right.
In this scenario, the software update might involve challenging those limiting beliefs
Okay.
and replacing them with more empowering ones. Instead of focusing on the potential for failure,
Yeah.
they might start focusing on their strengths, their skills, and the possibilities that a new career could bring.
So it's about shifting from a fear-based mindset to a possibility-based mindset.
Exactly. And it's about taking action.
Okay.
It might involve taking courses, networking with people in their desired field, or even just starting small by pursuing their passion as a side hustle.
That's a great point. You have to do more than just think differently. You have to actually take steps towards your goals.
Yes.
It reminds me of that quote, faith without works is dead.
Yes, the text emphasizes that action is an essential component of faith. It's not enough to just believe, you have to actually put those beliefs into practice.
Okay, so we've got belief action and this idea of going straight to the source of power.
Yes.
What else is key to this software update process?
One crucial aspect that the text doesn't explicitly address, but that I think is implied, is the importance of self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Yeah.
How does that fit into this whole software update idea?
Well, if we think of our beliefs and habits as the software we're running on,
Okay.
it's essential to first identify what programs are actually running in the background.
Okay.
What are the subconscious beliefs, the ingrained patterns, the default settings that are shaping our experiences?
Oh, I get it. It's like before you can install a new program,
Right.
you have to kind of take inventory of what's already on your hard drive.
Yeah.
You might be running some outdated apps that are slowing you down or even causing problems without you realizing it.
Exactly. And that's where practices like mindfulness journaling therapy can be so valuable.
Go.
They help us become more aware of our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors so that we can start to understand the underlying programs that are running our lives.
Okay, so self-awareness is like the first step in the software update process.
Right.
It's about becoming conscious of the programs we're running
Yes.
and then deciding whether they're serving us or holding us back.
Precisely. And once we've identified the programs that need to be updated,
Okay.
the next step is to start installing new ones.
Mm-hmm.
This is where those key prayers we discussed earlier can be so helpful.
Right, because those prayers aren't just about asking for things.
Right.
They're about embodying certain principles and practices.
Yes.
They can help us reprogram our minds for success.
Exactly. For example, praying for open doors can be seen as a practice of actively seeking out new opportunities and expanding our horizons.
And praying for favor could be interpreted as cultivating positive relationships
Yeah.
and focusing on our strengths.
Right.
And praying for supernatural acceleration could be seen as a reminder to trust the timing of our lives and surrender to a higher power.
Yes.
So these prayers are essentially tools for rewiring our brains
Right.
and creating new neural pathways that support our desired outcomes.
That's a great way to put it. And the more we engage in these practices, the stronger those new pathways become.
Okay.
And the more we start to experience the world through a new lens.
Okay. This is all starting to click for me now.
Yeah.
It's not about some magical intervention from a higher power.
Right.
It's about taking practical steps to change our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors.
And as we make these changes,
Yeah.
we start to attract new experiences into our lives that align with our new programming.
So it's not just about changing ourselves.
Right.
It's about changing our reality.
Exactly. And that's the ultimate goal of this software update. To create a life that is more aligned with our values, our goals, and our highest potential.
This has been such an insightful exploration of this devotional text.
It has.
And while we've been talking about it in a somewhat secular context,
Right.
I think the core message is still very much aligned with the author's intent.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing our own power to change and grow with the help of a higher power.
It's about embracing the possibility of transformation and stepping into a new reality that is more fulfilling and aligned with our true purpose.
And I think that's a message that can resonate with people from all walks of life,
Absolutely.
regardless of their religious beliefs.
It's a universal message of hope, empowerment, and the infinite possibility of the human spirit.
Well said.
Yeah.
And on that inspiring note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into a fascinating topic.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep updating your software to become the best version of yourself.